The story of General Grievous is one ingrained with pain. As most individuals know Grievous, he is the most famous and possibly deadly Jedi killer in Star Wars history. It is estimated that he killed 100 Jedi with his own hands over the course of the Clone Wars conflict. Grievous was a cybernetic monstrosity in secret developed by the Sith Lords Count Dooku and Darth Sidious. He was developed not only to specifically combat Jedi in the heat of a lightsaber duel, but also to command the droid armies of the Confederacy. But there was a time before Grievous was a cyborg, and a time before he was called Grievous at all. Today, we will discuss the story of General Grievous before he ever became a cyborg and worked for the Sith. In a sense, we won't be discussing the story of Grievous at all. In this video, we will explore the story of Grievous's true name and original identity, Kwaimain Jai Shilal. Grievous was born during a time of great conflict on his homeworld of Kali. For generations, the Kalish warriors had been molded by war as they faced off against the scientifically superior Huck. The Huck being an insect-like species that desired to enslave the Kali. From an extremely young age, this conflict infuriated Grievous, again at the time known as Shilal. In hopes that one day his son would become a great warrior and leader for the Kali, Shilal's father trained him with the slug thrower rifle. Over time, Shilal became the most skilled sniper of all of the Kali, as many bowed before his might. Not to mention, he was only 8 years old at the time. By the time he achieved adulthood, many believed that he was a demigod and a savior sent from above to destroy the Huck and to save the Kali. In the midst of the Great Huck War, Shilal once encountered a dream where he experienced a warrior just as powerful as himself, only they chose to use a sword. In the dream, Shilal and this mysterious warrior killed the animal known as a mumu, a dangerous creature that lived on their home world. After awaking from the dream, Shilal ventured out to kill one in reality in hopes that his dream would come true and he would meet this fierce warrior and equal. After finding a mumu, the dream did in fact come true as this warrior appeared. To Shilal's utter shock, it was a female Kalish warrior. After together conquering and killing the mumu, the two developed a fierce bond. Eventually, after continuing to fight the Huck War together, the two of them would be wed and would both be considered demigods amongst their people. For the remainder of his time as a Kalish warrior, Grievous would wear the skull of the mumu that he killed with his wife. He would later even use a similar mask after becoming the cyborg General Grievous. Unfortunately, during one specifically terrible engagement with the Huck, Grievous was separated from his wife. Forced to watch in utter terror, Shilal witnessed his wife being torn apart by Huck. To add even further grief to the Kalish warrior, the Huck then threw her body into the ocean. Shilal's grief was made even worse by the fact that he could not retrieve the body of his loved one. Consumed with more grief than he had ever felt before, he ventured to a far-off mountain to pray to the gods. All Shilal desired was to say goodbye to his wife and loved one, and to see her one final time, but the gods did not answer. In a fit of rage, Shilal proclaimed that he would grieve forever as he cast off his original identity. In rage, he would take the title of Grievous, the Heartbroken. It was here that many believed that the true form of General Grievous was born, and not during his cybernetic reconstruction. Filled with a new sense of power, he managed to rally all of the Kalish warriors and drove the Huck from their homeworld. Not satisfied with this though, he pursued them across the stars, until unfortunately and eventually reaching the Republic. Unbeknownst to Grievous at the time, the Huck had reached out to the Jedi Order and explained that the Kalish warriors were savages that had attacked them unprovoked. Because of this, the Huck, now aided by the Jedi Order, again attacked the Kalish warriors. Not only did the Jedi Order attack the Kalish physically, but they also sent large fines and embargoes for the war. What resulted was total poverty on the planet of Kali, as many of Grievous's people died of starvation. It was here that Grievous not only swore revenge against the Huck, but the Jedi as well. In order to pay off the heavy debts of his people, Grievous took a job in the Inner Rim working for the Separatists. Here, Grievous took on the identity of a debt collector himself, as he became known as a leg breaker. Although Grievous despised what he had become, thinking back to a time where he was worshipped as a demigod, he did whatever he could to preserve his people. It was here that he would catch the attention of the Sith, as they regarded him as one of the fiercest warriors they had ever seen. It was also here that Dooku, as well as Sidious, realized that they had found the subject for their new cybernetic program. Not only seeing that he was skilled in combat, but also hated the Jedi, Dooku believed that he was perfect. First though, Grievous had to be utterly and completely broken, both mentally and physically. In order to do so, Dooku sent out a false alarm to Grievous that the Huk had again invaded Kali space. Rushing back to his homeworld, a bomb exploded on Grievous's ship that had secretly been planted there by Dooku's own spies. As Grievous fell from the atmosphere, his body nearly completely destroyed, Dooku watched with pleasure. Eventually, Dooku would retrieve what was left of Grievous and create the cybernetic monster that we all know and fear. But that was the story of General Grievous before he became a weapon for the Sith, and when he was known as Shilal, the demigod. But leave your thoughts on this in the comments down below, and did you know the backstory of Grievous and the origin as to why he hated the Jedi so fiercely? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.